Hello and welcome back to Dinosaurs for Hire. This is Japan. Um, Probably my favorite level in the game. It's a really fun level to play, as it basically involves three fairly challenging but not ridiculously hard boss battles. I'm sorry, 4 boss battles in this one level. But they're all very doable, so they don't feel unfair or anything, so that's pretty cool. I also just like the overall feel of this level, I guess. I mean, you get to sort of surf on turtles while firing bullets at ghost samurai who shoot lasers from their eyes. One thing I found about this game is the more you describe what's actually happening on the screen, the more awesome it sounds. I think I tried this last episode, but we're a Tyrannosaurus Rex using a machine gun, wearing a leather jacket and sunglasses, fighting a cannon in Japan. That's pretty awesome, I think. Now, the interesting thing about this cannon is that you actually never see anybody behind it, leading me to assume that it is in fact a sentient cannon with a will of its own. And anyway, I don't know where this is going, but this is the first of the boss battles. He's sort of like a ninja with the power of fire and or meteors, or whatever those are. Basically, he becomes vulnerable between attacks, so if you can see the bullets, again, it might be a little bit hard because of the YouTube compression, which often makes rapidly pulsing objects invisible. When the bullets bounce off of him, he's invincible, and when the bullets absorb into him, that means he's taking damage. Some of this guy's attacks, like I said, are actually fairly difficult to dodge, but it doesn't have a whole lot of health, so you should be okay. Although you may notice that my health is almost completely gone at this point. So, getting a little bit nervous. And here we have part 2. Fortunately, this guy's pretty easy. It's sort of another guy, or maybe the same guy. I like to think it's the same guy because if you notice when he faded away the first time, it showed like a tornado, like he was gaining the power of wind. So I'm assuming he's just going through different stages. And it's that glorious pattern from pretty much every single platforming game ever that the enemies take. Sort of zigzag, bounce across the screen pattern that's the easiest thing ever to program. Yeah. I was actually being kind of dumb here. If you just stand under him while he does this, he can't really hit you. So even though you don't get a life power-up in between the 2 forms of this guy, this is actually pretty easy. Definitely easier than the fire one. There he goes, just sort of doing that again. And there we go, there's the second form. More turtles. More samurai. Also, if you fall into the water, you die. You drown. So don't do that. I think that was probably fairly obvious, but just in case. Fortunately, at this point, you are given health, so no worries when you're going up against his third form, which is lightning. This one's a little bit difficult because it's not always possible to tell where his attacks are going to come, particularly this attack. Generally, a good guideline, which I'm sort of not following in this video, is to try and go where he's already hit, because his lightning will not strike the same place twice, at least not in the same attack sequence. And when he does this move, basically if you just walk as close to him as possible, he'll end up teleporting pretty far away, and you'll be okay. Alright, and there we go. So that takes care of him. That will be 3 of our 4 bosses for this level. Unless you count the cannon, in which case it would be 5. Now this guy right here used to kick my butt when I was a kid, because I didn't understand how to actually beat him. Basically, you shoot his nose, but what happens is he turns you to stone with this. Now you have to keep rapidly tapping buttons to break out of it, because with the attack he launches, he will kill you instantly if you were stone. But if you know that, he's not a problem. But as a kid, it took me quite a while to figure that out. Until one day I just kind of bashed the buttons in frustration. Alright, so now we're moving on to a boss. Our little pterodactyl friend. We're going to be fighting the hideous Mega Lizard. Again, very creative with the names. And basically the way that this boss fight goes down is you have to defeat the boss not by damaging him directly, but by refreezing him as he has sort of thawed out and threatens to wreak havoc upon the world or something, I don't know. Also, he's kind of Godzilla. Not exactly, but kind of. So basically what you need to do is hit that little red button behind his head. Hit that enough times, and he will refreeze. He's not particularly difficult, actually, because he basically just calls down those icicles will fall on you, and shoots fire in one of two areas. So it would actually be possible to clear this guy without getting hurt fairly easily. Although I don't accomplish that in this playthrough. You'll notice that shooting him really does nothing, but in this game you pretty much always hold down the fire button anyway, so why not? Another thing to note is that if you're playing on easy, which we are not, this is the last level. You don't get to go to the last two levels, I suppose, if you pick easy. Fortunately, we're playing on normal, I think, so we'll get to see the whole game. So as you can see, this is pretty much just wait him out, dodge his attacks, and there we go. That's the end of him, and that's going to be the end of this episode. So I will see you guys next time for the finale, where we will be tackling the final boss and the terribly difficult final level. So until then, thanks, and I'll see ya.